There is no greater feeling in trophy hunting than popping a gloriously ultra-rare platinum trophy. Beating a game that bested 95% plus players that attempted it before you, knowing that you sit proudly in an exclusive little club upon the upper echelons of players. Problem with ultra rares is that they can be brutally hard, grindy, or both. They could be painstakingly bad games that force you into 20 hours of repeating the same micro map to destroy little houses over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Sorry, the Space Overlord's PTSD still gets me every now and then. It's hard to gauge from trophy guides exactly how rough an ultra rare platinum will be. The best bet is to check the forums, but even they're not overly helpful all the time. Ultra rares, the of trophy hunting, where innocuous 3 out of 10s can be 200-hour torture sessions of mindless, brain-numbingly droll repetition, or a 4 out of 10 20-hour platinum that actually has a ruthless online PvP component that, if you're not a booster, is near impossible to earn. Well, without getting so good you reach Ryan Reynolds' level of awesomeness. So to help you out and find your way through this perilous minefield, I asked everyone subbed to my channel or inside my Discord server what ultra rare platinums they've earned that they would recommend. Here's what they suggested. So let's go. Game 1, Oddworld, New and Tasty, recommended by Saki Gamer. Now, Oddworld New and Tasty is a remake of the beloved PS1 classic Abe's Oddysee. A Lemmings-like puzzle-solving side-scroller, Oddworld is a top-tier remake that does its original proud. Oddworld is set in a gloriously macabre, dank and dark dystopian reality where we play as Abe, a heroic Mudokon. When Abe overhears a Glukkon board meeting that reveals a rather devious plan for the enslaved Mudokons, he steps up to go out and save every single one of them that he can find. Of which there are 299 in total, a number you need to remember for later. Oddworld's Platinum is as hard as you want to make it. Several trophies are for completing runs with certain handicaps like collecting every Mudokon, speed run, and a playthrough on hard. But you also need to play a run where you kill 99 Mudokons, for no other reason than to please some sadistic Mudokon-loathing dev who added the Act of Odd bronzer, and you also need the bad ending where more than half of the Mudokons you're charged with rescuing have to die. The Mudokon Pop Silvo. These trophies have playful names but are bloody annoying to have to go and earn. Of course, you can work on both Mudokon Pop and Act of Odd trophies in one playthrough. The speed run, which must be completed within 3 hours in order to pop the New and Hasty Goldie, but in this run you must also save every single one of the 299 Mudokons. Of course, this can be done on easy, but even then this gold trophy will have you pull your hair out as the seconds tick away. The list rounds off with an assortment of miscellaneous trophies which vary wildly in difficulty. 2 buggy trophies to mention here too. The Why Do Birds Suddenly Appear bronzer for killing Abe in 15 unique ways requires a guide, while the Rupture Farms Now Hiring Silvo has been reported as buggy and not registering for some players. This bug doesn't seem too common, with only 2 people mentioning it on the game's forum. Oddworld New and Tasty is a unique looking side-scrolling remake of an absolute masterpiece that is as good as you remember from those glorious PS1 days. A minimum of 4 playthroughs, an expected completion time of around 20 hours, and a respectable but doable 6 out of 10 difficulty. Timing in this game is key. Good luck. Game 2, Steep, recommended by Lucas. Steep, the snowboarding game. Yeah, I had that thought too, but my buddy Lucas has convinced me to check it out, and yeah, you know what? I can see exactly why people loved getting this platinum. Steep comes from Ubisoft, so obviously I wouldn't expect much from it myself, but Lucas assures me it is a diamond in the rough. Or in the snow, in this case. Is that a thing, a diamond in the snow? Who cares, let's move on. The open world extreme sports simulator was released in 2016 to pretty middling reviews. It has a pretty unconvincing Metacritic score of 71, and the player reviews are even harsher, 6.4. But it's not just Lucas, my mad mate from down under, who protests that Steep is an underrated gem. Several of my friends argue the very same. Why do they all love it so much? Well, for starters, it's not just snowboarding as the cover suggests. This isn't just Tony Hawk on ice, although if that was a Christmas pantomime, I would 100% be there for that. He's grinding behind you! Oh no, he isn't! But in Steep, you can enjoy a range of extreme sports from skiing to wingsuit flying, snowboarding, and even paragliding, which must be pretty useful when traversing the typically huge Ubisoft open world, in this case, the Alps. The trophy list doesn't look too intimidating at 7 out of 10 difficulty and a predicted 30-hour completion time, but I would wager that that time is heavily skill dependent. Now, Steep has 8 ultra rare trophies plus the Platinum, but the Platinum is over 2% rare, which indicates to me that it isn't insanely hard to earn. The legendary legend Goldie wants you to reach legend rank in 6 different expertise. Several are earned by defogging the map and finding the points of interest, but the difficulty comes in the game's rarest trophy, the 24 carats Gold Challenger Goldie, which is earned by earning 115 medals in the Alps public challenges. Yeesh, 115 is mad. Imagine having 115 challenges. Sorry, Man City joke. But here is where most people give up on the Platinum. Will you, or will you persevere, beat all 115 challenges and slam Steep's glorious ultra rare Platinum into your trophy cabinet? Let me know in the comments. Game 3, Dead by Daylight, and this was recommended by CJ Joker and Kyrie, 2 awesome members of my community. A game I've actually avoided like you would a drunk guy approaching you on your lunch break while you're scoffing your sausage, cheese and bean melt outside Greg's. But a game so many of my trophy hunting friends adore, Dead by Daylight. A game practically everyone owns, and if you don't worry, DBD goes on sale all the fucking time, and its DLC litters up the PSN store sales worse than England football fans have done the streets of Germany during this summer's Euros. My version of this game is the endless DLC installments. They just terrify me, with friends telling me that I face a 1,000-hour quest of true madness for the elusive 100%. But luckily we're only here to talk about the Platinum, which has a reasonable 150-hour time estimate on PSNP. Infuriatingly though, it is only the PS4 stack that is ultra rare, sitting at around 2.2%, while the PS5 version has a much less impressive 5.4% rarity. Those pesky auto-poppers. The Platinum is a 6 out of 10, but will have you do pretty much everything the game has to offer in order to earn it. But for this one, we're going to look at the PlayStationTrophies.org guide, which rates it at slightly higher at 7 out of 10. I've chosen this guide because it's slightly clearer to understand for someone like me who's never actually played Dead by Daylight. You'll start by prestiging your chosen survivor not once, not twice, but 3 times. But the leveling up grind doesn't stop there. You have to level up every survivor in the game to level 20. Injustice vibes. Stinks like Mortal Kombat. Smells like fucking Netherrealm, doesn't it? You have a metric fuck ton of miscellaneous trophies to work through as both survivor and killer, and you'll spend a lot of this grind in public matches. But Dead by Daylight is clearly an addictive, brilliant horror game that my Discord server feels you should play and must platinum. Game 4, Godzilla, PS4, and this is from Hulkamaniac, and thank you. From a game practically everyone has or can get easily and cheaply to one that will be hard to find and cost you more than a second-hand kidney. Truth be told, I didn't even know this game existed, but thanks to Hulkamaniac, I do now, and I will be scouring eBay and CEX for a copy. Now, this iteration of Japan's most beloved kaiju actually launched on the PS3, but only in Japan. It took more than 6 months and a generation skip for the rest of the world to catch up and play this rare gem when it launched on the PS4 in July 2015. Now, this game appeals to me for 2 reasons. Firstly, you play as Godzilla and an assortment of his kaiju buddies. Second, your primary objective is to simply destroy shit. It's basically a kaiju-themed raid room in a game. Awesome. Now, Godzilla does look pretty budget, even for a PS3 game, and reviews claim that there's really not a huge amount to do. With the trophy guides I found claiming the Platinum to be a mere 3 out of 10 difficulty, it's clear this one is going to be a grind. You have to finish the story mode, God of Destruction, and utilise the assortment of kaiju in your playable roster. You will then have the bulk of the big grind, with the Platinum estimated at 50 hours plus. It seems that a lot of that will be replaying the story to destroy absolutely everything in every single area. Reminds me a lot of Space Overlords, that does. God, the PTSD is bad today. But that's not why this game is ultra rare. It's ultra rare because, well, the game itself is ultra rare to find. Just look at the prices on eBay and CEX. For some ungodly reason, the developers of Godzilla installed a multiplayer mode with a bunch of trophies connected to it, some of which you will need not 1, but 2 opponents for. This would be a serious boosting commitment. Either you'll have to scour the bowels of PSNP and Discord for 2 people with the game who would be willing to boost it with you, or you'll have to convince 2 of your buddies to actually go and buy this game. And you can't even self-boost with a second console because you can only buy it physically. Unless you're looking to just piss away $100. No, didn't think so. Godzilla is probably the easiest platinum on this list, but the most expensive and arguably hardest to actually get done. But I love Godzilla, so I'm going to find myself a copy. If you have it and want to boost it with me, drop me a DM or a comment. Game 5, Wet, Sean Nilsson. From a hard to boost platinum to a totally single player experience. Sean Nilsson recommended this one, and I'm going to be totally honest with you. I only included it because I've been itching for a reason to check this game out, and he gave me one. So thank you, buddy. I appreciate this so much. Now, we play as Ruby, and she's a hot assassin, and I literally need to know nothing more about this game. I was already in when I saw the cover. What? You all know I'm a delinquent degenerate. You may wish to choose your games more wisely. One of the shorter platinums on this list, Wet will take you 25 hours to complete, but of course that means there's a difficulty to this ultra rare, and guides suggest a manageable 7 out of 10. And it requires 4 playthroughs, indicating to me it's not a long story mode, probably 5-6 hours each go. You need to play on fixer difficulty, hard mode, and then take it up a notch for the femme fatale playthrough. Now, everything about this game screams to me that Robert Rodriguez and Luc Besson made a video game. It looks cool, fun, and sexy. A third playthrough, the Golden Bullets difficulty, obviously a reference to the N64 classic GoldenEye, in which the golden gun killed enemies in one hit, as is the case in this mode. The problem with this mode, however, is that you also take a hugely increased level of damage. So your weapon may be OP, but you're more fragile than an old lady with one leg. Then, using chapter select for a 4th full playthrough with your points count being the focus, you need to beat the target score for every area, which looks a little tougher than the other runs. Finally, you have a load of challenges you need to beat in the Boneyard. These vary in difficulty, but none are easy. Will you beat Wet on every difficulty, kill all of Ruby's targets, and manage to overcome every challenge this game has to offer? If so, then the Wet Platinum will be yours. Game 6, Super Hot. Now, this was from CJ Joker, Lumdubs, and Prometheus recommended the VR version. Super Hot was a monthly game on PS Plus Basic a while back now, so many of you may already have it in your library. And this is a 2-for-1 because both the PS4 and VR stacks are ultra rare and both recommended by members of my Discord. Super Hot is an FPS with a twist. Time only moves when you move. If you're stood very, very still, then time stops, giving you time to assess your environment, enemies, and plan your next move carefully. It's just a fascinating mechanic that really turns this simple looking FPS into a pretty difficult puzzle game. It's a bit like Ghost Runner or My Friend Pedro. No, Crimson, I have not done My Friend Pedro yet, but I will, thanks to you, for Pedro. Visually, Super Hot doesn't look like much, but for those of you who favour gameplay over graphics like myself, you'll find Super Hot as addictive as teenagers found Coca-Cola before they took the Charlie out. There is multiple playthroughs, but won't take long, and the challenges keep them interesting. Of course, the VR stack is even rarer, and you VR owners will have to tell me why, but I'm assuming it's purely because it's VR. Let me know in the comments. The difficulty in Super Hot's Tasty Platinum is the challenges, as they require you to pretty much perfect every level of the game, of which there are 9. The Endless mode is challenging as well, a mode that sees endless enemies respawning, endlessly. The Can't Get Enough Silver, requiring you to kill 150 enemies per level, will be earned after popping the full package Goldie for unlocking every endless level. Both PS4 and VR stacks of the game have their own lists, and both will take about 15 to 20 hours of your time. This one isn't just a little bit spicy, it's super hot. Game 7, Rayman Legends. Finally, my own recommendation, the ultra rare platinum that I've earned that I think everyone should go for. Luckily for me, it was a quick decision as I have a very short list of ultra rare plats, and most of the ones I do have a half-intelligent canine could earn. But Rayman is a platinum I believe should be earned by as many hunters as possible. It's a truly wonderful game, and its platinum is a wonderful learning experience for any budding trophy hunter. Rayman's Platinum is a strange one. Firstly, you have to complete the story, unlock all the paintings, and complete the invasion levels. Some of these levels are frustrating, but can be beaten with a little perseverance. The Origins paintings are a nostalgic joy, and the miscellaneous trophies are mostly easy and good fun to earn, like the Axe Skater Bronzer, which just wants you to skate on your axe for 30 meters. A little tricky at first, but fun to do when you figure it out. There's even a trophy for playing the football minigame. The story in its 100% completed entirety is a 5 out of 10 difficulty, and although some bosses can be frustrating, no boss level lasts too long. The rarity of Rayman's Legendary Platinum is in reaching the 11th level of awesomeness, a grindy as fuck trophy that cannot be done in one sitting. You see, after completing the game entirely, you will still be short a considerable amount of XP to reach that highest level. The only way to get there? Daily challenges, and this is where 96% of players drop off. The daily challenges will take a minimum of 90 days to get enough points for the truly awesome Silvo, and that's if you get gold every single challenge. Which you won't! Too many cross-platform cheaters using exploits to earn ridiculous scores in certain levels. It will more likely take 4 to 5 months of daily playing for mid-level ability players. So why do I recommend it? Well, firstly, it's a glorious game, simple as, and the soundtrack will literally rock your world. Secondly, the truly awesome Silvo is a test of commitment and dedication to the Platinum. Now, I believe it's a great way to test your commitment levels to trophy hunting to go for it, and that's why I did it. Because if you can do those daily challenges for 3 to 6 months, you are committed, you are dedicated, and you will have earned a truly awesome Platinum trophy. You fucking legend. Which of these do you have in your trophy cabinet? Which do you want to go for most? And most importantly, who wants to boost Godzilla with me? Get to each other.